Ernie the Ermine. He's been dead for 100 years, and he's still more alive than both of us. Welcome to News. Our culture editor, Bridget Chase, led an investigation on the Indian Residential School History and Dialogue Center and found that several months after it opened, the Dialogue Center is still largely empty, and much of the programming and important records that were supposed to be inside are nowhere to be found. The Board of Governors is looking at updating Policy 15, its on-campus smoking policy, to include cannabis, which means that pretty soon you'll be allowed to possess and even smoke cannabis on campus.
And with the first 8 weeks of school being termed the red zone due to the spike of sexual assault on campus, the province is launching a province-wide campaign to educate students about sexual assault. Ubyssey and the AMS also holding a joint We Believe You campaign. And look forward to more of our municipal elections coverage with the municipal elections coming up on October 20th.
That's more like it. Welcome to Culture.
This month, Ubyssey students, faculty, and alum were absolutely killing the culture game. First, we had a number of beautiful, thought-provoking exhibits at both the Hatch and the Belkin, including Pictures in Protest, Our Bodies, and Collective Acts. Outside of gallery spaces, Ubyssey finally had its official inauguration for the Shadow, even though the Shadow was built almost a year ago. Hey, it takes a lot of prep time to inaugurate $400,000 worth of bricks. On the big screen, Dr. Christine Schreier, Ubyssey linguistic anthropologist, wrote the language for the new movie Alpha. And Indigenous Planning Program head Leonie Sandercock worked with the Haida Nation to create the first ever feature-length Haida language film, The Edge of the Knife. Read more about that and everything else online.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Features.
Read the sign, dumbass. Welcome to Features. I'm Moira, and I just got a new turtleneck for this very occasion. This month in Features, we interviewed some really cool people, including Dr. David Boyd, who's the new UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights and the Environment. Dr. Boyd is a professor at UBC, where he earned his law degree, and next month, in October, he'll be heading to New York to visit the United Nations General Assembly and deliver his first report. One of our news editors, Zach Becerra, also took a look at how Jumpstart has grown and why. It turns out that UBC started Jumpstart as kind of a preventative mental health measure because it showed such positive correlation with international students doing well, staying at UBC, and feeling connected to the community. Now, Jumpstart has become open to any entering undergraduate student, whether you be from across the world or right here in Vancouver. We also published a few new installations in our travel series, Places to Go, where our writers took us around the world from Northern Ireland to Iceland, and then in the summer to China and Peru. Take a peek if you want to escape the rain once it starts next month.
Welcome to Blog and Opinion. This month in Opinion, we had a letter about sustainability on campus by Carissa Kirk. She talked about the we in sustainability policy and how that should apply to everyone on campus. We also had an op-ed by our visuals editor, Claire, about the loss of the books in Kerner Library, talking about the serendipity of research being lost. In Blog, we had an article written by Angela O'Donnell, our very own, about what person you might be, depending on what poster you bought at the recent poster sale.
Welcome to Science. This month in Science, we ran an article about the wildfire smoke that had been plaguing Vancouver for a couple of days at the end of August. And basically what's so bad about the smoke is it's filled with all this really fine particulate matter that when it gets into your lungs, it breaks down some of the membranes in there and can leach into your bloodstream. We also covered a creek rehabilitation project that was done on Salish Creek in Pacific Spirit Park. The restoration efforts included adding baffles to the stream to slow the force of the water coming out of some of the culverts where the stream had been diverted, as well as adding rocks and other kinds of natural debris to the stream to create riffles and pools. And this is significant because Salish Creek is one of the last salmon-supporting streams in the Burrard Inlet, so getting it back to a state where it can potentially host salmon fry will be really important for preserving their habitat.
Welcome to sports. In late August, UBC announced a new competition against the UVic Vikes for the Legends Cup series. Points will be awarded to teams for wins or ties in soccer, rugby 15s, cross country, rowing, field hockey, and basketball. Whichever team comes out with the most points at the end of the year will win the inaugural Legends Cup. Homecoming was also this month, with UBC taking on the Calgary Dinos. 2 weeks prior to the game, they also faced the Dinos in Calgary and lost impressively 57-7. It would take a lot for them to come back and win Homecoming this year, and of course they didn't. Heartbreakingly lost 32-28.